We're at the Miwok Village. It's a beautiful, shady place, and it smells of sage. It's so nice and wonderful in here. And I'm with Kath. How are you doing, Kath?
I'm doing great today. How are you?
I'm doing swell. Are you up there at the at Chaussee?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so-
we're docents as part of the park organization, and we're also on the association. There is a nonprofit association involved with the park. So Roy and I are both with the association as well as docents.
Okay. And that's great. So is this your display on these two tables here?
Yes, it is.
All right, so you've got some great stuff here, and we'll be talking with you. But I think we're going to take advantage and talk about some of the posters in the back that are showing off some of the Chaussee Park restoration. And Roy, maybe we can get you up there and we can talk about that.
Sure. We're in the process of rebuilding the Roundhouse, this Chaussee Association with the casino. The casino's doing most of the work. We're just giving them support as much as we can. But what they're doing is restoring the Roundhouse at its original state. In other words, they're going to build it like the natives build it. And the one thing that's important about the Roundhouse, we want to make sure that everybody knows that the Miwoks are still here, and they'll always be here, because that's one of the reasons why they're rebuilding the Roundhouse. The Roundhouse is their church, so it's a sacred spot for the Miwoks. And like I said, Adam Dalton and his gang are all rebuilding the Roundhouse as we speak.
Right, and I think that Roundhouse probably lasted for maybe about 20-some years. I can remember when we first got here to the county, they had just rebuilt it back then, and it weathers and it needs to be changed. So it's almost like every generation almost gets an opportunity to rebuild that Roundhouse, don't they?
That's absolutely right. And what some of the problems they're having now is getting some of the material. They went ahead and had a hard time getting the big barks because we no longer have the large cedar trees where they had the big bark back then. So they try to salvage all the material that they could off the original Roundhouse. And you're correct, they usually rebuild the Roundhouse every 20 years or so. So that's what they're doing now.
And that's beautiful. Like you said, at church, they do a lot of Native American dancing in there. The Miwok and different Indian groups come and share their church as well. It's just a wonderful experience. If you ever get a chance to go in it is truly a great spiritual feeling inside of the Roundhouse. What's this next one showing? It seems to be showing some more restoration around the park area.
Different stages of the park restoration. And like I say, here's a group here that's doing it right now. And there's a lot of work involved, stripping all the bark off the trees. You know, like I say, the main thing is to get it as close as they can to the original type of Roundhouse.
Right, and I think the tribe and the rancheria as well. They replaced all of the split rail fencing and just did a wonderful job of cleaning that up, making new benches, and they're doing a great job.
Yes, they are. They're doing. They're out there almost 4 or 5 days a week, and they're just doing an awesome job.
Okay. And moving down to this next one. Let's just keep backing up and make it easy.
Here's
looks like some good views of inside the Roundhouse. A little bit down below it has a rock wall.
Correct. Yeah, the Roundhouse is actually in the ground 6 feet, so the wall is actually holding up most of the Roundhouse. It's like I say, it's really been I don't think we could have did it without the casino. That's for sure. The state of California is certainly going to help us. So the association with the Miwoks and try to help as much as we can. So
okay, is this the opening for here?
Yes, they put bark over the existing poles now. What they're trying to get ready for is Big Time, which is coming up in September. It's always the last week in September. If anybody wants to see, if you want to see the Native Americans in their natural state, you want to come to the Big Time. We also have a Little Time in May.
Right, so. And we'll back up one more, and I think that Big Time, that's associated with the Acorns, right? The festival.
That's correct. That's celebrating the Acorn Festival.
And of course, right. I think that's what they put in a lot of the Chaussees was acorn place to grind them down, right?
Correct. The park is the largest gathering acorns in all of North America. We have 1,185 holes in that rock. We also have petroglyphs. So we also have a museum there that show a lot of the Native Americans' work. So if you want to come to the park, come on by and support us.
You know, Roy, and what's interesting too is there's so many real old oak trees there that there's a lot of those acorns that are probably from trees that are close to 600, maybe even over. I'm not You know, I'm not really good on ages of trees, but I think they're approaching that.
Yes, we have one in the park as you come into the museum. We have one that's actually 500 years old. So you won't find an oak tree like this anywhere in the county, anywhere in the valley, because they've cut them all down. So that if you want to see a 500-year-old oak tree, you want to come to Chaucer.
And this is great seeing how they went ahead and lashed them up and things like that. What are the lashings made of?
What they do, they use wild grapevines, and they have to actually wet them. They soak them for a while, and then they also just wrap them all together around the poles, and then on top of that goes the bark. So it's really a process that it's quite amazing. I mean, to see them put it together is just really something.
Right, and I think once again, like I said, this is how they pass the knowledge on to the next generation. But also, Adam has a lot of crew that have native on the back of their T-shirts. I'm very proud to have wear those shirts, and I feel very proud also since I know about them. Some of whenever I see them around the county, and doing a tremendous amount of work and really a lot of pride in their in their Native American heritage, and it just really shows, and it comes across the whole community.
Sure does. You're talking about pride. There's Native pride for you right there. I mean, it's beautiful, and we love working with them, and as much as we can. And like I say, it's a volunteer thing that anybody can volunteer, and anybody can contribute also if you want to contribute to the
and it
to the
adds
cause.
so much to you and humanity and to people as well when you're able to take part in your history and put something back up that's going back through many years and generations of Indian way of life. It's just wonderful.
Yes.
So,
well, like I say, the park's open Monday through Sunday, and they're open I think they open about 9:30, and then they close around 4 or 5. And the museum's usually open also. Okay. So we're trying to fund the museum through doing tours at the park. The association does tours, and we try to sell things in the gift shop to promote the park.
Okay, and here it looks like they're putting in one of the main posts. I believe there was 4 in there. Is that correct?
That's correct.
One for each of the directions?
That's correct. Four poles symbolize the directions, the 4 seasons, the 4 elements of life. So it's very sacred to the Miwoks on these poles. Nobody's allowed to touch these poles after they set them. And because there are certain things about them that they don't need to touch.
I do believe there's 4 things too. The last time I was at Chaucer, I think what you were saying is like a Little Acorn Festival, maybe that was just several months back, and one of the bead workers and things like that. You might have been down there ordering something at the time, but he had we're showing like the 4 coordinate colors also, I believe, and that's like red, black, white, and yellow.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar on the colors there, but there are a lot of names at the time you said little time. It's in May, and what it is different tribes show up and they show their artwork and they sell it. It's for sale, and it's just beautiful work. It's unbelievable the time of work.
I thought that was very interesting when I left. I don't know if it is, but my mind. I'm not sure if you realize the crazy way my mind works. But I said, well, that's great. That's like the 4 races of mankind. The black, white, red, and yellow race. So it's like
that's right.
It's very interesting too.
I like to comment with
what do we have
what Margaret said about the race. Talking about the races, Tom, is
I loved it.
Her favorite quote, and I love that quote. It says, "We are all of one race. We're from the human race."
Right, exactly. And
thanks to her, that a lot of these things is happening now, even though she's not here with us now.
Certainly is. Wonderful lady. Way, I want to say way ahead of her time, but in her time and able to achieve so much. She was just a dynamo, huh?
Yes. The Miwok people contribute so much to this county. I mean, it's unbelievable what they contribute to the Amador County, and I want to thank every one of them. So,
all right.
We should.
So, once again, I think we're at the last poster for the park restoration, and I think the tribe put these together and just did a wonderful job. Are these on display someplace?
Yes, I think they have them all over the park, and they have them pretty much where a lot of people can see them. I'm sure they'll have them at the casino also. So.
Okay, really good. Now,
right.
Roy, we're here at, while we're out, maybe you can just talk to us a little bit about what's here.
These are some of the native items that the natives survived with.
Let's see if I can remember what this is.
Sure,
Was this to capture fish?
No, they do have a fish net that's a little bit bigger, but this was to capture the red flicker, the bird that they use the feathers from. Here's the feathers from the red flicker. And what they would do, they would pull the 2 longest feathers from the bird, and how they would trap the bird is they would put this over the hole of the red flicker, and the bird would go in, but he'd get stuck. The tighter he went in there, he'd get stuck, and they'd pull the 2 feathers from the bird, and then they'd release the bird, of course, because it took 38 birds to make one ceremonial mass with these feathers. And the ceremonial mass is used inside the roundhouse for dancing.
Okay, I'm just a little curious, maybe you know, do those, I guess, main flight feathers, so they come back?
Well, yes, they do. It's not the actual 4 or 5 feathers are flat. It's the 2 longest one. It actually grows back. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's cool. So they put this. So this looks like a hole in a tree or something that the flicker goes in.
Sure, that's right. He'll go in there and think it's part of the hole there, and he'll get stuck.
You know, it's interesting. I have quite a number of woodpeckers that play around and stuff in my yard, but I've only seen maybe a couple of times a red flicker in there.
Yeah, they're
pretty rare.
They're very rare now. They used to be pretty quite a few back when the natives were here, of course.
Okay.
Let me mention one more very important plant for the natives. This is the soap root, and most of this is underground. In other words, it's below my hand, as it would be the underground. And then what they use these fibers for would be for brushes. For brushes there to maybe to brush the acorns out of the hole or to brush their hair. And they'd use also the white substance inside for soap, so they'd actually clean themselves with the soap. But also they use the white substance for fishing. They would put the white substance in the water. It would go through the fish's gills, and it would take the oxygen out of the fish. It wouldn't kill the fish, because of course if it killed the fish, then the natives would die when they ate the fish. So what it did, it knocked them out. And they put them inside a soccer ball, the Native American soccer ball, and it's pretty much built the same way a baseball is built today. It's with soap root fibers inside, and they also use milkweed to stitch it all up with elk skin. So it's not actually the same material as a baseball, but it's the same principle the way it was put together. So as far as I'm concerned, the natives discovered the baseball.
There you go.
All right.
Maybe the softball.
This is a pretty interesting thing here. This is a cooking rock. What they would do, they'd heat this rock up in the fire, and they'd take it from the fire with this tool here, and they'd put it in a basket with acorns with water and heat up the water with the rock, and then they would use this to stir the rock so it wouldn't burn the basket. So it's a cooking rock. Very simple, but very efficient. Very efficient. Yes, sir. What else we got?
I got some nice knives here.
Those are made out of obsidian. Actually, this is the red obsidian here. That's this glass there, but this is the red obsidian, and here's your black obsidian, made for arrowheads and also knives.
You know, all 3 of these. Is this a amber or?
Yes, it might be an amber. That's the amber right there. Yeah.
So this is a Miwok.
Yes,
knife?
the Miwoks would make knives or arrowheads like this, obsidian. And this particular arrowhead is used for big game like a deer. Yeah. This would be used for a bird because they wouldn't want the arrow to go all the way through the bird to take most of the meat out. So they have a stopper there. And this one here is for fowl, like ducks in the water. They'd shoot this at the duck, and if it didn't miss the duck, the arrow would float. That's why this little thing in here is so it would float.
Right, hard making arrows and the points. You don't want to lose those. You want to make sure you have a good shot.
A lot of work to building these, you know, and they passed it on.
Did they have different feathering on the back as well?
Yes. I haven't got any on display here, but yes, you're right. They had.
I know when you go for the birds and things like that, a lot of times the arrow wraps in a circle. I'm not sure if the Native American did, but when I was a youngster, we used to have arrows like that.
Let's say 12 o'clock noon. That's the local whistle.
Yeah, local whistle over there by the sawmill.
That's the one.
Okay. Yeah. I think that was great. Is this a doll? A doll?
It's a doll, Native American doll, and they actually practice making feathers for the bonnet there.
Okay. And some Native American whistles.
Yes, there's a whistle. They're made out of bone. This one here is kind of interesting. Here, this necklace here, it's made out of the seeds from a pine cone.
Okay.
That's what these are made out of. They'd actually hollow them out and sand them. So it's very interesting to have these have these made by the natives. These were all made by natives.
Yeah, I find too you have to get to this pine cone pretty fast. Squirrels beat you, don't they?
Exactly right. That's exactly right. We put together a couple of nexuses with my grandchildren, and we couldn't find any seeds in the pine cones, so we had to climb the tree. I had to get one of my grandsons to climb the tree, knock the acorn out of the tree. That's the only time to get the seeds, because once those hit the ground, you're exactly right, Tom. The squirrels got them.
I think they even start working on them while they're up there. Now that they know you're climbing up to get them. This is for a little girl to wear or something, isn't this?
Like a little doll,
a little
Native American doll.
And is a papoose for, I think is I know it as, but like right.
Yes.
So they carrying a little baby around, and another doll.
Mm-hmm. All those are dolls.
Cool things, antlers. What would this be used for?
Okay, that's a brush. All it is pine needles. You can see the end. They're just pine needles and simple brush, for a broom, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I can sweep something out. I mean, it's very simple. Everything they used was usually pretty efficient.
Certainly reminds me of a whisk broom today, doesn't it?
And that there would last also. I mean,
right.
How many pine needles around do you see?
Well, I'll tell you, they last a long time.
Yeah.
My gosh, are they hard to move around too? They get like stuck on each other.
That's right.
Oh boy, they don't blow off easy like leaves.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so well, a lot of great things here. Do we have something else to show off, or maybe down at the end?
Let's see.
We have like a mortar and a chasse.
Yeah, we have a mortar here with they used to actually grind the acorns in this here. And that's what that was used for.
How did they get the hole in like grinding rock to start off with? How do they make those?
Because on the rock, let me explain a little bit on the rock that also have the largest gathering grinding rocks in all of North America, by the way, our park. And that's what makes our park famous. But the way the hole starts is actually the rain makes a little dimple in the rock, and they do it from there. Once the rock is made out of a soft limestone. So that's the reason.
So there's even like some softer areas in there.
Right.
They start to melt out, so to speak, and then.
Well, the raindrops and everything else, the elements actually make the hole. Then they go from there. But a hole a foot deep could have been used by 1,000 families, because it doesn't wear that easy. So it's.
And here we have Abalone Shell, and of course they would have access to abalone, being we're fairly close, and they would probably trade with tribes that are on the.
That's exactly right. The coastal Miwoks, actually the Miwoks in Marin County, just above San Francisco, those were the coastal Miwoks, and they did a lot of trading with this abalone. They used it for jewelry, a lot of jewelry. They also, some of them tribes used them for money, shaped them for money. But you're right, Tom. It was good trade material right there, is that abalone. And then, of course, you see the acorn there inside the abalone, which they ground to.
Okay, and what are these?
Yeah, those are games. It's called like the bone games. And this one here is a Slate game. What they do is they drop these sticks here. But they land like they're I'm a winner. See, if there's three up and 3 down like this, you're a winner. You actually get 1 stick. Okay, if they 3 and 3. Now, if they all land all up like this, then you get 2 sticks. Okay, that's how the game. But like I just said, they just take them like this and drop them. And I almost had a 2-stick right there. If this would have been this, I would have had 2 sticks.
I don't know if you shuffled them very well.
No, probably not. Probably not.
Well, yeah. Okay, so it's really interesting. I don't know, just knowing other cultures and everything. It's like I don't know. It's just so interesting to do the Abalone Shell. Something else I thought of at the time, but must have escaped me. But Roy, how long have you been a docent there?
I've been up there about 5 or 6 years, and I'm the vice president of the association, the Chasse Association. I'm so proud to be in that association, because the main goal of the association is to keep the native.
You pass your knowledge on to other people as well. Is that like how you learned about all this stuff as well?
Yes, and then I get to work with the natives too, also, when they put this together. Some of the things they build, I observe and I try myself sometimes. But I'm really interested in the natives' way, because they had the right way of doing things. I mean, they believed in Mother Earth and they believed in Father Sky, and they took care of the planet. They took care of Mother Earth because Mother Earth took care of them. It was very important, and that's one of the things that I really admire about the natives, what they did. And they've done it for 10,000 years. I mean, probably longer than that. So just the way that the way it's going. It's the way we're going now. We're not doing too good with Mother Earth. We need to straighten that out a little bit. Get it where we're taking care of her, because, like I say, she took care of us for a long time. She's still taking care of us. So that's one thing I really believe in. So.
Okay. Well, great to hear from you. And go on up there to Chase Indian Grinding Rock. They also have camping up there, and it's just a beautiful place. A lot of old trees, just wonderful. And it has a very peaceful feel about it.
One more thing I wanted to say too, Tom. We also have a hiking trail there. They're trying to improve on. They're trying to improve the native plants. We have a group that does, in the association, we have a group that does the plants, studies all the plants, and they try to get everything that's native back. And we have a Native American garden up there that you can observe. And there's so many things to do at the park. And also, before I let everybody go, we need some volunteers up there. So if you want to volunteer for the park, come and see us, and we sure put you to work. And it's a lot of fun. That's why I do it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, once again, thanks a lot. Here's a couple of ladies that are playing one of the games. It looks like a smaller version of that. Is that the one with the six sticks, and you drop them? Go ahead and let's see how it's going.
See if we can get a winner. 1, 2, 3.
Yes. 1, 2, 3. 3 of each. Gets one stick. All right. What's your name?
Jamie.
Okay, Jamie.
Millie.
How you doing? Okay. Good. And how you doing, James?
I'm doing okay.
James, it looks like you're getting ready to maybe make some games. Let me move this here out a little bit. Are some of the kids and stuff going to come on up and turn these into that game?
Yeah, this is one of the activities that we're doing today, and we're teaching people, first of all, how to play the game, and if they like it enough, they can actually make a miniature set and take it home with them.
Okay, that's way cool. All right, and so looks like you have sandpaper, things like that. What are they going to be using to burn the marks on there or whatever?
Well, we have felt tip markers they can use for the little ones, and we have some wood burners over on this table over there for people who are a little older that can handle a wood burner, and they can just burn their own designs into them.
Now, this is a beautiful morning here. It's actually, I guess we just heard the noon whistle, so we're in the afternoon, but boy, isn't it nice and cool this year?
Oh yeah, we've been here for 20 years, and I think this is the year with the best weather.
I think I tell people, since I usually do like the 4 days and go around, and especially the early times, if I could get 2 days that were below 100, I would feel like it was a good fair for me.
Oh yeah, we've had some 108 weather in the past, so this is great. I think we have the coolest place in the whole fair right here.
Right, and even during the hot times, so anybody was looking forward to coming up next year, this is a great place to be, and it's always full of kids and stuff. We're a little early maybe for a lot of the kids to be doing Indian crafts and things like that, learning about the Native Americans and things they do. Looking over that table over there a little bit, Tommy, you might be able to that's got a really cool looking doll there on the top of that. The kids get to make that as well?
Yeah, actually each one of the tables has a different activity that they can participate in.
I want to tell us something about what I think, James. There's a lot of art, but I don't know if you specialize in it, but it sure is beautiful. I don't see any, but just beautiful gourd art. You're just like fantastic at that.
Yeah, we do different kinds of gourd art. I do gourd art, and a number of people in our community do as well. Yeah, so we don't do it here. That's too complicated of an activity for here.
Yeah, I was just wanted to mention it. If you ever see any of his gourds, you'll just love it. And hi, what's your name?
Luli Velasco.
Okay, and you're getting some of the sticks ready, right?
Yes, I am.
Is this the money sticks? What do you trade these in for? You just put them back and put them in the game again, right?
You actually count them as they're dropping the staves. Then whoever wins that round will take a stick and.
Okay.
Has most amount of sticks, and I'm just.
That's a pretty cool game. Now, what do you play to?